So this horse was gelded on Friday, came to me on Saturday, and today is Sunday. I'm going to start working with him. I'm thinking this is probably the first time he's ever seen a cow. A little bit on his backstory. I believe he is 7 or 8 years old, Arabian, and at some point he was sent to a trainer. Don't really know what that trainer got accomplished with him. He never gave the previous owner any video or pictures. Now he has a new owner. And we're going to start with him and just see what we can figure out, see what he knows, see where he's at, get him under saddle. If he's not, we're suspecting, we don't really know, but we're suspecting, since the previous trainer never sent any pictures or video to the previous owner, that maybe he didn't get much or anything done with him. We don't really know. So we got to kind of figure out where we're at, see what we had to start with. He's definitely is good-minded for sure. One of the first things I wanted to start with him is I wanted to just kind of rub this whip all over him. The trainer he went to was an Arabian trainer, and when they work them in hand, like to do liberty or halter, they'll get them kind of fired up with a lunge whip or a bag. And I want to see what I have there, see if that's an issue that I have to work with. Right now, of course, he's very distracted with the cows. I'm not really going to force him to stand here. I'm actually going to ask him to move his feet in just a minute. But the thing about an Arabian is you can't make them tired. It's not like a quarter horse where you can lunge a quarter horse until they get tired. You're not going to accomplish that with an Arabian. With their stamina, they're going to way more outlast you if you try to get them tired. I really like what I saw there. Of course, now he's going forward. He's afraid of that, and he's looking at it, but he's not doing anything really stupid. He's not overreacting to it. He didn't run over me to get away from that. So he's pretty respectful of my space. Really like that. Let's start asking him to move his feet a little bit. Go over here so I can grab my lunge whip. Now you just saw me rub my other lunge whip on him. He wasn't terribly worried about it. Don't really want him to necessarily move fast. I just want him to move. Let's change directions. Good boy. And what I'm after here, obviously I said I can't get him tired. I don't think you can get an Arabian tired. But what I'm after is to get his brain to engage on me a little bit. He's not telling me no. He's doing what I asked. He lunged around me. He let me rub that whip on him. But he's also not really engaged with me either. So I'm going to give him a couple things to do, like that little turn on the wall. When he loses attention like that, I'm just going to give him something to do. Send him forward, turn him. Right there, he's inverting looking. It's not a huge deal. I'm actually walking a little bit closer, so he's getting a little bit weird. Let's change directions again. Right there. He wasn't as much telling me no as he was looking at the cows, and I wasn't in his field of vision very good. Change directions again. Good boy. His ears are staying locked forward, which I need to get them back on me a little bit. That's one of the things we need to work on. And you notice he's moving his feet around, moving his front end and leaving, and I really don't need to tell him much of anything. A little forward there. I think somebody has done some pretty decent work teaching him how to lunge. One thing, he came Saturday. He was gelded Friday, came to me Saturday. And I spent a good bit of time with him just to kind of figure him out, see what he was. And he has not been aggressive at all. He has not been flighty at all. He gets worried. I don't think he's very confident, but he's really good. He's not very confident. He's not very flighty, but he's really good about doing what I asked him to do because I asked him to do it. Oop, over here. So I think I have a really good mind to work with. Change directions again. See, he got a little bit fired up there when the cattle started knocking their buckets around. But he came right back to me pretty good. Good boy. Good boy. I liked that he turned and looked at me. I also liked that he did not come into my space. That foot there, he's wanting to come into my space. He's wanting help. He's wanting confidence. He's wanting to say, save me. Really don't think he's trying to be aggressive here. I don't think he's trying to be dominant over me there. I think he's wanting comfort. Let's pet on him just a little bit. Now, as I rub my hands on him, I don't know if this horse has ever had his feet picked up or not. As I rub my hands on him, I'm going to find out what he's going to do, but I'm also going to keep this rope short enough so that he can't turn his butt to me. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Let's rub him on this side. Keeping the rope so he can't turn his head away and his butt to me will help keep me in a safe position. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Good boy. Good boy. Now, as I handle this line on the ground, I'm going to handle it in a way that I'm deliberate with it. I'm not going to be overly spooky with it, but I'm also not going to be overly cautious with it either. Notice right there, when I bent down to pick this up, I watched him. Did the same thing earlier when I bent down to pick up that lunge line. Lots of studs, which he was a stud until Friday. Lots of studs, when you get below their eye level, don't turn your butt to me, they will get a little bit aggressive. So I'm taking extra care more with him so that if I get below his eye in front of him and don't stand right in front of him. Now, he's looking at the cows. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit. Let's see how much he worries about what I'm doing. Well, that was really nice. I'm not going to hit you with it. That was really nice. He let me pick his foot up with the pole while he was looking at the cows, which tells me not only did he let me do it, he's actually pretty comfortable about it. He moved away that time. Now he's turning to see this horse. If he would have been uncomfortable about picking his foot up, he wouldn't have let me get that close. There we go. Just kind of keep it right there, sack him out a little bit. This is a boat hook, like you use when you're docking your boat. It's got a plastic tip on it with a little plastic hook so I can reach around behind his hock. Now see how he stepped through that line, I'm not going to take any particular caution to fix it. I want him used to them lines between his feet. Just kind of hold it there when his feet get still. Feet get still, take it away. There we go. Good boy. All right, let's go to the other foot. He's not really picking it up. He's stepping away. I'll need to work that, make it better. But the first time I asked him was really nice. He understood what I asked him to do. Let's see what he does on this foot. There we go. Good boy. He needs more practice, but he's not kicking out at the pole, which I'm glad to see. I would like for him to let me hold his foot up. Again, I'm not going to do nothing about that rope wrapped around his front leg. There we go. So that tells me kind of where we're at with the feet. He don't seem dangerous with his feet, but he needs it done more. Now you notice I worked his back feet before I worked his front feet. There's a reason for that. Look at there. I'm rubbing his foot, and he shifted his weight and took weight off of that right foot. Good boy. I'm going to reward him for that. Good boy. But notice I started with the back feet before the front feet. I'm going to work the front feet just a little bit different. I'm going to ask him for the front foot using the rope. Let's see what he'll give me. Notice I'm not standing right in front of him. I'm also not, good boy. I'm not going to hold it up long. Just give me your foot. Give me your foot. And release. Good boy. I don't think a lot of work has been done with this horse, but I think the work that has been done with him has been good work. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. See how every time I step that foot down, or set that foot down, the other foot is stepping forward? He understands that. He knows what I'm doing. And again, I'm going to pull it through his leg. I'm not going to take any special caution with it. He needs to be broke to it. If I don't treat him like he's broke, he'll never become broke. I need to see where the problems are so I can fix them. Now let's go with this foot. He's kind of stacked out a little bit. It's going to be a little harder for him, but we'll see what he does. I know, your weight's not quite right for that. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. This activity is engaging his mind a little bit more than you saw when I was lunging him. He was getting a little bit hot on that, getting a little bit forward. That's one of the things about Arabians. You've got to engage their mind. You can't just keep working physically. You have to work mentally. I'll never wear him out physically. Okay, now let's see what he'll let me do with my hand. Now he's stepping away. I'm just going to stay right here with him. I'm going to keep the rope so that I can keep his head from turning away. Good boy. Good boy. I know I'm not in a good spot for the camera. Foot. Good boy. Good boy. I didn't hold it up there long. I just asked him to pick it up, and he set it back down. Let's do it again. Run my hand down his leg. Notice I'm rubbing up and down. I know you can't see good. I'm rubbing up and down. I'm not just going at him to grab his foot. That's important to note. Every horse, whether you're trail riding, working an event, showing of any sort, you want that horse's feet broke to be untouched. Like I'm dragging that rope around him. If I'm trail riding through the woods and he gets a vine wrapped around his foot, I don't want him acting stupid about it. I want him to recognize that it's okay. Your foot, there we go. Good boy. Looking at them cows pretty intently. He seems less worried about it and more interested in them. There we go. Good boy. I'm going to do it one more time. I'd like to get my hand a little lower. Come on, give me your foot. Good boy. Good boy. Come back over here. He's focused on those horses out in the pasture. Go to a different spot, get him pointing a different direction. Now let's start over again. We're going to work the front feet this time. I'll turn him sideways so you can see a little better. So he ain't looking at my backside quite the whole time. See what we can get for a front foot. There we go. Front feet are nice. Somebody spent a lot of time working with his front feet. It's like a broke horse. While I'm working it, let's go ahead and pick it out. One more time, boy. One more time. There we go. I keep one of those hoof pick combination pocket knives on my belts. Really like it just for this reason. Feet look pretty good. Could use a trim. I don't think he's been trimmed in a very long time, if ever. But they look good. All right, let's turn around and do the other one. I've done this a lot with these young and green horses. I have a particular way that I do it, that I want it done. In some ways it's similar to how you're taught in general horsemanship. Some ways it's different. But what I do it this way to keep me safe. Notice where I have the line, it's over my arm. If he goes to leave, I can take a hold of the line and I can keep his head to me. That's important. For keeping me safe. There we go. Again, that foot looks good too. Just looks like he hadn't had them picked up very much. All right, so I haven't seen anything big that needs to be worked on. So let's move on a little bit more. I'm going to ask him to bridle. To take a bridle. I have no idea if he has ever had a bridle on before or not. This could be the first time. I want to make sure it's not too short. I'd rather it be a little too long than too short. Right there, see how he's turning and looking at the cows. Could be scared, could just be interested. But the important part is generally staying right here with me. He didn't turn his whole body around to the cow. He respects me enough at least to not move his feet. He could easily just push me out of the way, but he didn't. So what I'm going to do, let's just kind of rub it up his nose. I'm not going to go at him real fast. I really would like him to get his head still so it don't bump on him I don't think he's really trying to avoid it there. I think he's more just enjoying the rubbing. There we go. And he got worried when I brought it on this side. We did give him some butte when he took it right in his mouth. Very nice. Just opened his mouth up and took it. We did give him some butte when he came in, just because I think he was sore. I'd really like for him to let me put it over his ear. Just because we think he was sore from the travel and the castration. And we gave it to him as a paste, and he wasn't too crazy about that idea. But he actually just opened his mouth and took that like he knew what it was. There we go. Good boy. Actually a little long for him, and I don't have no holes. Let's tie a knot in it. So I'll let this side down a little bit. Go back to this side and unbuckle it and put a knot in it. I want the bit adjusted so that it's close to the corners of the mouth with really no wrinkles. I don't want it hanging way low in the mouth where it's going to bang a whole lot, but I also don't want it up real high and tight in the mouth either. I want it to be comfortable for him where he can pick it up and hold it where it's comfortable for him, which is what he's doing right there. It's loose enough that if he let go, it would fall a little bit. It's not real tight, but it's right there. I just want to check, make sure it's sitting on the bars of his teeth, which it is. Sitting in a good spot. Some horses' mouths will have a canine tooth about where the bit would sit, where the bar would sit, especially if the bar doesn't line up with the corners of the mouth. You always hear about lining the bit up with the corners of the mouth, but what's really important is you set the bit on the bar and then let the corners of the mouth be less specific, because the bars is what's important. So him, it seems like right in the corners of the mouth is the right place on the bars. Grab a saddle pad and let's see what he does with this. He's not worried enough about it to take his eyes off the cows. So that's a big part of how I determine how much pressure to put on a horse. If he's really scared of this, it's right here. The reaction to this is going to be stronger than the reaction to the cow. If he's not scared of this, there we go. If he gets still, I'll take it away. He's not as scared of this or worried about this as he is about the cows. The other part is I don't really have his attention good. Let's throw it up there and see what happens. This horse has been saddled before. Saddled enough that he understands it and he's not worried about it. Now, I still need his attention better. That is a problem. I really want the attention to get better because I'm challenging his mind with work, not because I'm challenging his body with physical work. I want to challenge his mind with mental work. We're going to keep going. Really wasn't sure I would get this far today or not. But everything that I've done so far, he's telling me that he has had done to him before to some degree, and to some degree is okay with it. So we're going to keep going.